Ariel Helwani in Las Vegas for UFC 209 alongside Daniel Kelly, who meets Rashad Evans this Saturday live on pay-per-view. Daniel, it's nice to see you. What a big opportunity this is for you, and it kind of came out of nowhere. So tell me, when you got the call that they wanted you to fight Rashad Evans here in Las Vegas on the pay-per-view card, what was your reaction?
It was, yeah, for sure, awesome. I mean, this is a great opportunity. He's a legend of the sport, and yeah, I'm really, really happy and lucky to have the opportunity.
Were you expecting it?
No, I think I was getting close to a top 15 guy, but he's a much bigger name. So it's an awesome opportunity and can't wait for the challenge.
Now, he's making his middleweight debut. He's had some, I guess, false starts, if you want to call him that. He was supposed to fight in November. He was supposed to fight in December. Now, finally, here he is. I see him right over there, so he's here.
Yeah, he's here.
But do you feel like he's kind of ripe for the taking at this point in his career? You know, you've never fought a guy with his kind of stature and resume. This is the perfect opportunity to kind of catch him in his debut. Maybe he's not set at the weight. Are these the kind of things that you thought about when accepting the fight?
A little bit, but if I've got time to prepare, I'm happy to fight anyone. I'm expecting the best Rashad. I mean, I know it's a little bit cliched, but I expect the guy who won the title, who knocked Chuck Liddell out, that guy I'm expecting, but it's not easy cutting weight, especially he's only a couple of years younger than me.
Right.
It's not easy to cut weight for the first time, so that possibly could be a factor later in the fight, but I expect the best guy, and that's it.
Speaking of his age, the big thing with you is that dad bod, all this stuff. But I have to admit, as a father myself of three, how many do you have? Two. As a father myself, if I could have your body, I'd be very happy. I almost take offense that you claim to have a dad bod. Your body's great. What is this? I mean, it's almost like it makes me feel self-conscious when people say, look at your bod, like it's a bad thing, because your bod is actually fantastic for a 39-year-old, right? Yeah. You know you don't really have a dad bod, right?
Yeah, I don't. I certainly didn't call myself Dad Bod Dan, that's for sure. That's what they're saying, and I don't mind. I mean, I've got a bit more salt in my hair than pepper now, so
Sure.
I think they just add to that, and I'm probably not the most chiseled guy in the division, but at the end of the day, I really don't care.
You don't take offense to it?
No, not at all. I mean, you put yourself in a semi-public light, then
Sure.
people are going to say whatever the hell they want.
How old are your kids?
One's 11 and one's 7.
Do they have an appreciation for what you do? Like, do they know, oh, my dad's famous, he's, fighting on a big stage, he's fighting, like, do they understand this? Do they talk to their friends about this?
A little bit. We don't normally let them watch that much. And
Okay.
I mean, not live anyway, once the results happen. The last fight was a little bit bloody, so we kind of steer them away from that. But yeah, they know that I go away and fight and compete, but they grew up with me doing judo
Sure.
internationally and stuff as well. So yeah, they know, but I mean, it's certainly not a focus at home. Our focus is more on everyday life and the normal routine.
So your last fight, you didn't let them watch it?
No. They knew the result. They knew I won, but they came home. Well, actually, no, they came to the hotel and like, oh, Daddy, what happened to your hair? And you're like, it's all right, don't worry. It's just a bit of tomato sauce, so it's all right.
But these are very, kids these days, they're very resourceful. They can go online and type in your name and find a fight. They're not that curious to actually see what happened in the fight?
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
I'm lucky. Well, look, the fights in the UFC, to be honest, aren't on YouTube yet. So
Okay.
if they look, there'll be much earlier fights. So
Sure.
that's fine. But they do watch odds and ends, obviously. I'm a massive fan of the UFC anyway, so we'll have it on at home. But if it's looking a bit gory, we say, oh, maybe go and play or something like that. But there's plenty of time for that. I mean, my oldest son's going to be in high school next year, so there's time for him to know. Some of the other kids in his class say, oh, we watched your dad. And they're like, why can't we watch it? You don't need to, mate.
Okay.
You don't need to. It's different when strangers are doing it rather than, your dad.
Back to the fight, when it was announced, I thought that it made a lot of sense from a matchmaking standpoint because here's Rashad Evans trying to get back on track, new division, he hasn't won in a while. So, you're not the creme de la creme as far as, a champion, like what they did to BJ Penn and Yair Rodriguez. Yeah. Booking an older guy against a much younger guy. That's what I meant by creme de la creme. Absolutely. And then here's an opportunity for you to get a win over the biggest name of your career. I thought it made sense, but it's not something that the UFC often does. Did you kind of question, like, what kind of situation are they putting me in? Are they using me as a sacrificial lamb here to build them up? Or did you view it as here's an opportunity for me to build myself up?
No, I look at it as an opportunity for me. Like I said before, if I've got time to prepare and train, which I had about 7 weeks, I don't mind who I fight. I mean, I want to fight the best guys I possibly can, and this is just another opportunity. I'll be underdog again, like I always am,
Yeah.
but I'm more than happy for that. Yeah, I didn't look at it that way. I'm sure people will, and if you sit back and you're a bit cynical, you go, oh yeah, I'm a lamb getting thrown to the slaughter, but For me, it's thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm very grateful.
And when you were studying for this fight, are you looking at Rashad Evans, his last couple fights, Ryan Bader, etc., or are you looking at vintage Rashad Evans? Which one are you preparing for?
Vintage Rashad Evans. We looked a lot against how he did against Southpaws. Yeah. And I mean, there's only a few fights. The one against Little Nog, the one where he head kick knocked out Sean Salmon. They're two ones I really look at because there's a big difference orthodox to southpaw, especially even in the wrestling entries and the way you move and stuff like that. So we looked more at those kind of things rather than anything else. And they're very polar different fights too. I mean, he starched Sean Salmon, when he head kicked him, and then against Nogueira he was a little bit more tentative. So we're preparing for the best guy, and yeah, that's it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, first time fighting in Vegas?
Yeah, first time fighting MMA in Vegas. I competed in judo here a few times before.
As an MMA fighter, what's it like? I know the night hasn't come, but here we are on the Strip, bright lights, big city, all this stuff. Do you enjoy this as opposed to typically when you're fighting back home in Australia?
To be honest, it's easier fighting at home.
Oh, really?
You've got everything at your fingertips. Yeah. It costs a little bit less because you've got to bring your training partners and corner over. But I don't mind. I mean, this is a bucket list item. How can you not get excited? Fighting on a big card in Vegas. So I'm happy for the opportunity.
Well, I wish you the best. And again, represent us dads proudly, and good luck in the fight on Saturday night.
No, thank you very much.